Walsh, Cripps, and they've got this target up forward that I don't know what they've got to pay to keep him, but whatever it is, it's a bargain. Because without Harry Mackay, it's a different team.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's the player probably that we always thought was going to be the number 2, isn't he? Behind Charlie Curnow as the key forward. But he's stepped up. He's playing wonderful footy. He's giving them a real reference point up forward. It's gone the way most games have gone for Carlton this year, except they've come out on the right side of the result. So they had the big stretch early in the game where they gave up a lot of goals. They gave up easy goals to the Bombers, and you thought, OK, they're going to make hard work of it again today. But to their credit, they were able to grind and find a way. But the call that you made at half-time was that they're almost there. They're just not far off. And hopefully that last half just, I think, would really resonate with them, and they'll be able to take away some really key learnings out of the game.
So what they do without the football is the game. Yeah, Carlton with the ball in hand are very good. They can compete with anyone, and especially when their key playmakers are involved. Saab was fantastic, ball in hand today. Walsh is brilliant. They've got a target. They've got a strategy to score. They can score. They don't have a problem playing with the ball in hand. Without ball in hand, first half they cough up 5 goals, allowing Essendon to take it coast to coast. Second half, they cough up 1. That's the difference. If you have more of the second half defensively, Carlton can eventually become a contender. But allowing so many luxuries, yes, it'll beat the teams that are rebuilding. It'll beat the teams that are trapped in no man's land. But this form, despite it being a 16-point victory today, won't stack up against the top 4 or 5 teams. It won't. So they're living a little bit of a lie. OK, credit for getting the job done today, but still, the way they are playing is not going to take you to the promised land.
So you think they'll get a reality check in the next couple of weeks with the Bulldogs in Melbourne?
No, well, they had to win. They've just got to still improve. It's about improving. You've just got to find a way to win week to week. But look at the profile overall. They've still got a lot of work to do. So rap that they've won, rap for David Teague. Yep. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to fix some things on the run.
Yeah, you can't fix everything in your game at the same time. No. So the ball in hand stuff that you mentioned, yeah, big tick, and it's been a big tick all year, probably apart from the Port Adelaide game where they slaughtered it. But the defensive stuff, at times it's structural breakdown, at times it's really poor decision making. You wonder whether the fact that they've had to rotate blokes a lot, like I don't think, you know, positionally their players outside of their key defenders have been really set. So Stocker plays a bit of half-back, Sard's a bit of half-back, bit further up the ground. So because you're not camped and settled in one position, making those decisions defensively, instinctively, can be a bit difficult at times.
And a couple of players come in. It's amazing what 1 or 2 players do to your team. Like Cunningham comes in. They haven't had the luxury of him for the first block of the season. He kicks a couple of goals at important times. He has 25 disposals. And you go, well, that's what we've been lacking, just that one more capable player to go in and play a meaningful role. It doesn't always have to be Patrick Cripps and Walsh, despite the fact they were very good today. I really like the profile of parts of this list. We talk a lot about the spine. If they can just find 1 or 2 more contributors through that midfield, and they're there. They're on their list. They just need to be given confidence. I think that, you know, Dow going off early and Petrevski-Seton getting thrown back into the game was a good thing for him.
Yeah, he was good. Petrevski-Seton was really good.
So they're there, Sarah. The foundations of a good footy team is right there. It's in front of us. And I don't know how good Sam Walsh is going to be. He could be a Brownlow medalist. Who knows? But this group have underperformed to date. So it's exciting for the Carlton fans at home to say, OK, have a look at where we are. We're 11th on the ladder. We can make some significant inroads over the next few weeks if we can just adhere to a defensive game plan.
Leadering there, getting some claps for his 100th game. You mentioned Walsh, 33 and a goal. So, I mean, the maturity he shows in this group. You said before the game, Nick, that both midfields were relatively thin in terms of depth, and they are so reliant on both Walsh and Cripps. Yeah,
well, today didn't do anything to dispel that notion, really. Again, it was Walsh. I mean, Curnow had the job on merit for large parts and performed really well. He gives great effort all the time. You know what you're going to get from him. So, Cripps, Walsh, Curnow, you're still waiting on that next one to emerge. Is it Petrevski-Seton? Is it Dow if he gets to run it? Do they put Sard and can they play Williams up through that part of the ground? They're questions that need answering, and they need to be answered pretty quickly if they want to have an impact on this season.
Kingy, 19 goals to 16. It's like 90s footy. It's good, isn't it?
It was a shootout. It was your turn, my turn sort of stuff. Bit of basketball, but that's okay. I mean, Essendon are happy to play that game at the moment because they've got a young group coming through. And I'll tell you what, the Essendon fans are not losing any sleep over what's happening, by the way. But all the story at the moment is Carlton. This is a game they just had to find a way to win. And at half-time, they could have seized up. They could have got tight. They could have looked at the scoreboard and said, this is not happening.
That speaks to, I think there's character within this group because the pressure was fierce today in terms of the ramifications of win and loss.
So I think they'll enjoy this one as the Blues get a chance to sing their song after a 16-point win over their arch enemies, Essendon. Well done to the Carlton Football Club. That was a little subdued there, Kingy. Maybe they know that they've got work to do.
Yeah, they're absolutely fatigued. I mean, that was an up and back game all day, so they're spent, Sarah. Simple as that.
That can happen when you're up big late in games and the opposition get a bit of a run on and kick 3 or 4 in the row. You walk in thinking, gee, we made hard work of that.